Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're looking at that constant, sometimes totally exhausting tension we carry around every single day. We're going to map out exactly how our daily lifestyle choices are deeply intertwined with the stress we experience, and more importantly, how we can build genuine resilience against it.
To kick things off, I want you to think about your own life for a second. You know, our modern go routines. When you're staring down a massive deadline, or maybe dealing with a personal crisis, what's your immediate instinct? We really have to ask ourselves, why do we make our absolute worst health choices when we're the most stressed? It's so common. I mean, we've all been there, right? The second our stress levels spike, we just instinctively gravitate toward immediate comfort over our long-term health. We grab the absolute easiest junk food we can find, we completely ditch the gym, and we spend the entire night just staring at the ceiling worrying. But to figure out why this happens and how to actually stop it, we need to define what it is we're really talking about.
And that brings us to our foundation here, lifestyle. Now, when you hear lifestyle, you might think of, going to a trendy yoga class once a week. But it's so much more than that. It is the overall pattern of decisions and behaviors that determine your health and quality of life. It's the cumulative effect of what you do day in and day out. Your health is essentially a continuous pattern of choices. And when we look at it through that lens, we start to see that, hey, a single stressful day doesn't ruin our health, but a pattern of reacting poorly to stress, that absolutely will.
So let's walk through how that negative pattern actually unfolds. You can think of this as the path of stress. It's like a chain reaction. It starts with step one, a stressful event. If we don't manage it well, it quickly knocks over the next domino, which is step two, poor nutritional habits, and getting way less sleep. So now we're tired, we're cranky, which pushes us right into step three, engaging in health-risking behaviors. This could be smoking, pouring that extra drink, or just sitting on the couch all weekend. And ultimately, this vicious, accelerating cycle lands us at step four. Our stressed, poorly nourished, and totally exhausted bodies become far more likely to be exposed to pathogens, the actual agents that cause physical illness. Stress doesn't just stay in your head, it systematically dismantles your body's physical defenses.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the trap we fall into. To quote the research directly here, health-impairing behaviors develop gradually and are accompanied by pleasant experiences temporarily. This right here, this is the illusion of comfort. These bad habits literally trick us. Sitting on the couch eating a whole tub of ice cream feels highly rewarding in the moment. Smoking a cigarette or pouring that third drink provides this fleeting temporary sense of relief from all the pressure you're under. The real danger is that these behaviors don't feel like a threat when they're happening. They feel like a much-needed reward.
And because of that quick hit of temporary pleasure, we develop this massive blind spot. We tend to completely ignore the long-term damaging effects, and we drastically underestimate the physical wear and tear we're inflicting on our systems. That temporary comfort acts like a smokescreen, basically blinding us to the very real risk these behaviors pose to our lives. By the time the long-term consequences actually show up, well, the health-impairing behavior has already become a deeply ingrained lifestyle habit.
Which brings us to a much broader societal issue. Our modern, hyper-connected world actually encourages these exact excesses. We're surrounded by a culture that practically promotes eating and drinking too much as the standard, accepted way to unwind. We're all chasing this idea of the fast-paced good life, but in doing so, we're often falling completely out of sync with what our bodies actually need, in terms of what we eat, what we think, and what we do. It's a shared human struggle. We've somehow normalized a lifestyle that fundamentally clashes with our own basic biology. Let's break down one of the most common struggles: food. When the pressure is on, we immediately seek out those comfort foods, heavily loaded with fats, salt, and sugar. But the great irony here is that these comfort foods do the exact opposite of providing genuine physical comfort. They are actually stressing our systems even further. What our body actually requires to manage that stress is a balanced diet. We're talking 3 main, varied meals a day. And, importantly, this isn't some one-size-fits-all thing. A truly balanced diet is tailored to your specific activity level, your genetics, the climate you live in, and your personal health history. So, why is that balanced diet so absolutely crucial when we're stressed? Because it acts as a literal buffer against the physical damage of tension. A balanced diet doesn't just stop weight gain, it actively lifts your mood, gives you sustained energy, feeds your muscles, improves your blood circulation, and most importantly, it strengthens your immune system to prevent illness. When you feed your body correctly, you are quite literally arming it for the battle against stress. It's your armor.
So, the crucial point is this. Every single day, we are standing at a fork in the road between two very different paths. The health-damaging path offers a quick, temporary illusion of comfort, but guarantees long-term risk. On the other hand, the health-promoting path, which means sticking to a balanced low-fat diet and regular exercise, yeah, it takes more effort up front, but it pays off massively with enhanced longevity and a much higher quality of life. It's that daily choice between a quick fix and lasting resilience.
Now, beyond diet, there is another massive pillar of a health-promoting lifestyle, and that's exercise. Research consistently shows it is universally recognized as the most effective lifestyle change we can make. And it's not just for managing weight. It's an incredibly powerful tool for reducing tension, anxiety, and depression. It provides an active, healthy outlet for all that physiological arousal that just builds up inside us when we're stressed out.
And this brilliantly illustrates a really important distinction. Not all exercise serves the exact same psychological purpose. We actually need a mix. Stretching exercises, like yogic asanas, are absolutely essential because they provide a direct, calming effect on the nervous system. They help bring you down from that state of high alert. On the flip side, aerobic exercises, like jogging, swimming, or cycling, they actually increase the arousal level of the body, but in a healthy, controlled way. Together, they act as a powerful one-two punch against stress, allowing you to maintain physical well-being even when life throws some pretty negative events your way.
Let's move to and see how this builds our mental resilience, because physical health is really only half the equation, right? Our cognitive responses are just as vital. Positive health requires a positive attitude. But to be clear, this isn't about blindly smiling all the time or toxic positivity. It involves having a fairly accurate perception of reality, along with a deep sense of purpose and responsibility. It requires tolerance for different viewpoints, being open to new ideas, and crucially, this is a big one, having a sense of humor. The ability to just laugh at yourself helps you remain centered and keeps things in proper perspective when the pressure mounts.
This attitude directly shapes how we cope with adversity, and it neatly divides us into two camps, optimists and pessimists. The power of positive thinking is immense here. Optimists don't just magically have easier lives, they expect favorable outcomes, which leads them to actively use problem-focused coping strategies. They look for solutions, they seek advice. Pessimists, however, anticipate disasters, and because they expect a negative outcome, they're far more likely to feel totally overwhelmed, avoiding the challenge altogether rather than tackling it head-on.
So when we pull all of this together, we get a really clear blueprint. These are the core pillars of positive health that act as our ultimate stress buffers. We've got a balanced, low-fat diet to fuel the body, regular exercise and continued activity to regulate the nervous system, positive thinking and a constructive attitude to navigate those mental hurdles, and while we didn't dive too deeply into it today, family and social support to remind us we aren't in this alone. Adhering to a lifestyle built on these specific pillars is exactly what enhances both our daily health and our overall longevity.
Which leaves us with a final, very important thought to ponder as we wrap up this explainer. I want you to take a hard look at your own daily routines, your habits, and your defaults when things get tough. Is your current version of the fast-paced good life actually violating your basic principles of health? Are you choosing that temporary, fleeting, pleasant experience over your long-term resilience? Understanding this dynamic is the very first, essential step toward making conscious, empowered lifestyle choices. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope this gives you the tools you need to navigate your own lifestyle fork in the road.